cheerleaders, and you're watching the Alliance National Bank Highlight Show with Jeremy Bacon.
We're going to show you some actual footage from some of those games now with JB and the Alliance National Bank highlights.
All right, well, for round 2 of the Alliance National Bank Highlights Show, Sequoia at Dalton last year was a 38-14 Sequoia win over down in Canton, although this year it's homecoming and with the backfield of Shaquan Moore and Trey Beck, and last week's 490 rushing yard performance by the Catamounts. Although, could the Catamounts put up enough offense to take on the Chiefs in their wing T offense? Well, let's find out at Harmon Field right now, the land of the Catamounts in Dalton at homecoming game. It was Sequoia getting on the board first, 9:53 to go in the first, as Sean Wortham gets a 25-yard field goal, and it's 3-0 Chiefs. But Dalton responds. Striker Brown, look at this. He's running, and no one's catching up with this except someone near the 1-yard line that would knock him down just short. But no problem, because when you've got a backfield, Shaquan Moore and Trey Beck, good things happen. From 2 yards out, Shaquan Moore makes it a 6-3 Dalton game. And now it's 7:37 to go in the second. Sequoia responds. Tim Swanee makes it a 10-7 game with this touchdown, or 10-6 rather. Homecoming ceremony is Audrey Purrier is crowned, and in the third quarter, Sequoia was actually the one that responded. Dalton Trevino making good of his name and his score, 24-9. Sequoia, and more from Dalton Trevino. What a game he had. He scores again to make it a 31-9. And Sequoia comes out on top as this one as they take care of Dalton, winning 38-16. Well, for the next game, it was Northwest making the trip over to Cass. The Bruins coming off an 18-10 win over Murray County in a very close finish last week. Cass winless, but 3 of their games this season have been decided by 8 points or less. Last year, Northwest beat Cass 35-7 and lead the all-time series 7-0. How would they do this time around in 2009? Well, let's head right out to Cartersville right now. Cass High School for that game and pick it up with 11:46 to go in the first. Bruins driving. Chad Keeter finds Wesley Bell, and Bell answers. 60 yards in for a touchdown, makes it a 7-0 Northwest lead. 8:53 to go in the first. Watch this, more from the Bruins. Chad Keeter throws up a lob, and Tyler Painter makes a Willie Mays-like catch. That is something to be proud of. And that would set up this. Lance Andrews from about 5 yards out scores to make it a 14-0 Northwest lead. Time to kick it off and see what the defense can do, right? I don't think so. This is a beautifully executed onside kick that the Bruins recover, and that would lead to this. Mike Martin from 2 yards out makes it a 21-0 game, and Northwest wins 35-7 and proves to 3-0 in sub-region competition. Well, the next game, it was Southeast at Ringgold. Southeast 3-2 to start the season for the first time in 20 years. Last year, it was Ringgold, though, who would leave as victories as they beat Southeast 48-0. The mission for Southeast, stop Martez Eastland. Could that happen? Well, let's head out to Tiger Trail right now to see how Southeast could fare. And it was a game that we'll pick it up with 7:06 to go the first. Ringgold Zach Lance to the beast from the Eastland. In for a touchdown, 7-0 Ringgold. More Tigers. This time Zach Lance takes it all by himself and in. Scores, and it's 14-0 Ringgold. Southeast going to get on the board the second quarter with 10:31 to go. Carlos Ojeda from 30 yards out makes it, and it's 14-3. Southeast would score again in the second quarter, but Ringgold would run away in the second half as they win 49-27. Well, next game, Holy Ground at Christian Heritage. For Christian Heritage, their third game in a week. Not a whole lot of time for rest, that's for sure. The Lions, only one of 2 unbeaten teams in their league. The other, the North Georgia Falcons, who the Lions will take on next week. But this week, it was all about Holy Ground. How would they do? Well, let's head out to Christian Heritage High School in Dalton to see for ourselves and pick this one up with 9:32 to go in the first. Daniel Pierce, he has been doing it all, running, kicking, scoring, and he scores one right there, 7-0 Christian Heritage. 6:58 to go in the first. More from Pierce, but this, a 45-yard strike to Mason Sykes, and it's a 14-0 Lions game. in the second quarter with 10:10 to go. Holy Ground's Lee Newen, his pass is intercepted by Daniel Pierce, and Pierce seems to have a nose for the end zone because he's headed right there in, and it was pretty much like this the entire game as Christian Heritage wins for the third time in 7 days as they take care of Holy Ground 59-14. And that'll do it for the Alliance National Bank Highlight Show. Plenty more to come after the break, including your phone calls. But first, here's a look at scenes from the Dalton High School Homecoming Parade.
Wrestling,